Imagine this. You're on a frozen mountain. It's 30 degrees below zero. You're one of the best hikers in the world. You're safe inside your tent. You've got food, warm clothes, boots, everything you need to survive the night. Then suddenly, something happens. Something so terrifying that you don't unzip the door. You grab a knife. You slash your way out of the tent. And you run. You don't take your boots. You don't take your coat. You don't take your flashlight. You run barefoot into the dark. Into a storm that will kill you in minutes. That's not a movie scene. That actually happened. In 1959, 9 experienced hikers did exactly this. And 65 years later, no one can explain why. I've spent weeks studying the case files, the photos, the autopsies, and the things the government tried to ignore. I don't think this was a natural disaster. I think something, or someone, was waiting for them on that mountain. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, I'll tell you my theory. And it's not what you expect. These weren't random kids on a weekend hike. This group was elite. 7 men, 2 women, all highly trained. Most were students from the Ural Polytechnic Institute, basically the MIT of the Soviet Union. Engineers, problem solvers, survival experts. Their leader was Igor Dyatlov, only 23 years old, but already a legend. He even designed the stove they used inside the tent. Then there was Semyon Zolotaryov. He was 38, a World War II veteran. He had survived battles most people wouldn't live through. This is important. These were not people who panicked easily. They were heading toward a mountain called Kholat Syakhl. The local Mansi people had another name for it, the Mountain of the Dead. Legend said 9 hunters had once died there. The hikers laughed it off. They believed in science, not ghosts. When the group didn't return, search teams were sent out. On February 26th, they found the tent. And it made no sense. The tent was still there, half standing, not destroyed. Inside were their shoes, their jackets, their food, their money, everything. Except the hikers. Then, rescuers noticed something chilling. The tent had been cut open from the inside. Not torn, not blown apart. Cut with a knife. They followed the footprints. 9 sets of tracks. Here's the strange part. They weren't running. They were walking, calmly, in a straight line, for nearly a mile. Near a giant cedar tree, they found the first 2 bodies, almost naked, barefoot, hands burned raw. They had tried to climb the tree so fast, they tore their own skin. Maybe they were trying to see the tent, or maybe they were trying to get away from something on the ground. Between the tree and the tent, 3 more bodies were found, including Dyatlov himself. It looked like they were crawling back. They never made it. 3 months later, when the snow melted, the last 4 were found in a ravine. And this is where the accident theory breaks. These hikers didn't just freeze. They were destroyed. Crushed ribs, shattered skulls. The medical examiner said the force was like being hit by a truck at high speed. But there were no external wounds, no bruises. Just internal damage. 1 woman was missing her tongue. 2 were missing their eyes. And their clothes? They were radioactive. Over the years, many theories emerged. Theory 1, Avalanche. A slab of snow hit the tent. But here's the problem. The tent wasn't buried. The footprints were still visible weeks later. Why walk a mile instead of digging out boots? Theory 2, infrasound. Some scientists think wind created a frequency that causes intense panic. Possible. But panic doesn't crush ribs, and it doesn't make clothes radioactive. Theory 3, secret weapons. People nearby reported orange lights floating in the sky that night. Some think the hikers wandered into a secret Soviet weapons test. A blast wave could explain the internal injuries. But then, why was the tent still standing? And why was the case sealed for decades? Here's what I think happened. And I'll say it clearly. I think the hikers had an alien encounter. Not a story, not a legend. An encounter with something non-human. Those orange lights weren't missiles. In the final photo taken by the hikers, frame 33, there's a glowing shape that doesn't match anything natural. I believe something hovered or landed near that tent. Something that released massive energy. That explains the radiation. The internal injuries. The lack of external wounds. They didn't cut their way out because of snow. They cut their way out because something was outside. They walked calmly because they were in shock, or being controlled, or being herded. And the missing eyes and tongue? People say animals, but why only those parts? The Soviet government sealed the files because they couldn't explain what happened. And admitting we don't know was more dangerous than blaming nature. 9 people went up that mountain. None came back. The mountain of the dead kept its secret. But the evidence they left behind tells a story science still can't finish. So now I'm asking you, was this a freak natural event? A secret government experiment? Or did the Dyatlov group encounter something from another world? Drop your theory in the comments. I'm reading all of them. This is I Think. What do you think? Follow for the next mystery.